Welcome to Talking Football. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit your notifications because we're doing lots of videos for you. I'm going to get right into the Premier League last week and we're going to have a look at the few results that really stuck out for us. We looked at West Ham, Liverpool. What a great game. Liverpool looked like they were going to do the business, but West Ham, as I say, playing as a team. Davy Moyes has got them playing like Everton. They used to have Everton playing, and they really are playing as a team. And Liverpool just couldn't get past them, and it was a great game to watch. And as I say, it keeps the Premier League really exciting, especially with the Chelsea result, because Chelsea, you thought they would cruise to victory, but a couple of tactics that Tuchev's playing. This one with the forwards missing and he's struggling to play his formation up front, Mason Mount on the bench, things like that. His wee changes, he's maybe trying to be too smart and just backfired against him, to be honest with you. Late goal for Burnley to equalise, a great result for them. As I said to you before in Talking Football, Burnley have had some great results and good performances, but they've just been a bit unlucky, so that was a great result for them, thoroughly deserved, to be honest with you. They're a good hard working side and deserved what they got. Norwich, great result as Brentford's bubble burst. It looks like one of the games where Brentford should have really dominated, came out with a result, but Norwich, a good bit of fight there, 2-1. And of course they've got Frank Lampard going there by the looks of it, and that could be a good signing for them, although is he just going to go down with them and come back up, or how's that going to work out? Because Lampard probably needs a steady season rather than an up and down season where he's going to get the spotlight put on him again. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops. Brighton, got to be disappointed with a draw with Newcastle. If they were going to build on the Liverpool result, you would have thought that they would have beat Newcastle, but Newcastle came out in the second half, showed a bit of fight, and we'll see how they progress. The boy Howe's there, so I think he's there for the 2 years to recover this season and get them steadied for next season, and then Newcastle will be building in between or from there on. And although the lady owner came out and said that she was quite happy and his credentials were good and this, that and the next thing, but when you listen to what happened with Howe said that the reason Bournemouth done so well is he just came out and attacked. Now any good manager, your Klopps and your Chelsea manager and Conte, if you're going to come out and attack them, they'll just pick you off, simple as that. And I'm hoping Arteta's got Arsenal going. They could have been 5 up and ended up scraping to a 1-0 victory, especially after Ramsdale came storming at his goal and King just put it in the side netting when he probably should have steadied himself and had a wee bit better go at it. Leeds, lucky to get a draw, I think. Leicester disallowed goal in the second half, could have won 2-1. But again, Leicester, good honest side, really are, and Brendan Rodgers deserves every bit of plaudits that he's getting. He's a good manager, very steady, very organised, and does his homework. Crystal Palace, says to you, 2 players last week, Conor Gallagher and Zaha, 2 players that could play at a higher level. Premier League's a high level in Crystal Palace. Sorry if I'm disrespecting Crystal Palace, but these two guys could be in a big club. And Gallagher, I'm really impressed with that boy. His work rate and his enthusiasm is superb. Zaha's a bit more sort of prima donna, but another goal in the Premier League and he done well. Man United, De Gea, said that great shot stopper, and that's exactly what he was, a great shot stopper. It could have been 6-0 at one point. Man United, dreadful. Again, Solskjaer goes a couple of goals down. Couldn't change it. Didn't care how to do it. But then we did have Man City just wanting to contain things. And if you look at the stats on Man City, if they're winning 2-0 at half time or 1-0, they didn't really go and kill teams. They're quite happy to win and win organised and sensibly. And that's exactly what they've done. They controlled the match because I think they passed the ball around like it was they were at home and Man United were playing some sort of team in the World Cup final, you know, and Man United just couldn't get the ball. And to be honest with you, it was another performance that's always just got to go, oh, well, I got that wrong again. And looking at the other one, Southampton, great result against Villa, who's now got their new manager. They've got Steven Gerrard in. Done well to stop Celtic getting their 10 in a row, but I'm not sure he's going to have it quite so easy in the English Premier League. We'll soon see what the credentials are there. But interesting to see how young manager getting in, Gerrard young manager, Lampard young manager, and see how these guys are going to learn their trade and take it to the next level, because that's what they're going to have to do if they want to get anything. Everton, Tottenham turned out exactly how I thought. Garbage, 0-0, boring. Conte, 7 defenders, on you go, and Everton just happy, to be honest with you, happy with a draw, happy with a point. And let's hope that they change their attitude and start to attack teams a wee bit better in the second half of the season, or as the season progresses, to be honest with you. Now I'm going to go straight to the World Cup, because the World Cup is heating up now for the qualifiers. You've got England, I mean, you only need a draw against Albania and an easy game against San Marino, so it's not even interesting to see that the Users are going to go flying through or have any problems, because let's be honest, it's going to be a stroll in the park. The interesting guy that I'm seeing is the boy playing for Spain's Fornals for West Ham. He's going to be a good player. He's really part of that West Ham setup and causes a lot of teams a lot of damage. And he did well for Spain. He's on the bench. He's going to come into that team and start playing a part in that. And again, what a result. Georgia beats Sweden 2-0. Now, if you know about your correct scores, 2-0 is one of these results that always comes up. If you've ever got a competition at your work, have 2-0 on your side, and if you play every week and keep accumulating points, you'll find if you go your whatever league you're doing and you do 2-0 for the home team or the favourite, you'll find that you'll probably win that competition over a season. It's just one of these funny statistics. But again, Georgia beat Sweden 2-0. That was that 2-0 scoreline. Another great result. And Crystal Palace against Wolves last week. That was a great result for 2-0. Another one. And Man City, of course, 2-0 against Man United. Another great result. So 2-0, very popular result. And if you, as I say, if you at your work you've got a sweep or anything you play every week, keep the 2-0 on your side because you'll win that competition over the whole season. Now into Group A, Luxembourg above the Republic of Ireland. I mean, that's got to be a funny one. I mean, Luxembourg, I can't believe that, to be honest with you. But anyway, we'll see that pans out because Portugal and Serbia, the deciders coming up. What a game, that'll be a cracker. Because you want to qualify, you didn't want to go into these playing playoff games where you might end up playing Scotland on a rainy night, you know. And to be honest with you, Portugal and Serbia, when I think it's the 17th, that's going to be a cracking game. I'll be looking at that to see the odds, and we'll see if we can get that into the Playmaker service for you to see if we can get some value in the correct scores and things like that. Although it looks like it'll probably be tight. But that's a cracking game coming up. There's a good one coming up as well. Italy, Switzerland, because again, you didn't want to be second in the group, and Italy at home to Switzerland, and Swiss have then got Bulgaria at home, and Italy finish in Ireland. So Italy will be wanting to get the result there, but the old Italians, they'll be happy with a draw and take it to the last game. But I would think they would want to finish the Swiss off in this next game. But it'll be interesting to see how that game goes, because it's not going to be an easy one, that's for sure. And then you've got we're into Group D. France qualify against Kazakhstan. That's simple, they're through. But it's a great fight between the Ukraine, Finland and Bosnia. Finland play Bosnia, and that'll keep that whole thing bubbling over for that second place, because the second place is very important. You go into the playoffs and a lot of teams are going to have to qualify for that position. But that's a really cracking wee end to that Group D. Group E, Belgium already through, coasted quite easily. Wales, massive game against Belgium. There's a massive game on the 17th, and the Czech Republic play Estonia, so that's going to be quite an important one. That's all going. Wales get a result against Belarus, which they should do. So we'll be interested to watch that one. Denmark sailed through their group, but Scotland, here we go. We're going to get that playoff place, I think, because against Moldova, but didn't count in Scotland at 1.22. You wouldn't be putting your house in that one because Scotland will make it hard. It'll be 1-0 or a 6th-minute injury time goal or something like that. It'll not be easy. Scotland will make it hard. So I'm hoping they can do it, and then that's us home and dry. But even in that section, there's a funny game coming up. I've put in the Playmaker because I think there could be a funny result in there. And Austria against Israel. Austria are pretty much certain in the betting to win that game, but I find that Austria or the draw they're saying it's going to be, but Israel slaughtered them 5-2 in the last time they met them because they just tactically were well ahead of them. But maybe there's been a bit of injuries and some travelling restrictions, but I'm surprised that some of the correct score prices in that they are, because Israel definitely a strong force against Austria tonight, I would think. But the betting's telling you Austria are the draw, but 5-2 the last time they met, and it wasn't that long ago. Into Group G, we've got the Dutch should go through when they play Montenegro, because Montenegro need to pull off a miracle to get in the players. So the Dutch should get through. Turkey easy against Gibraltar. Norway will beat Latvia, and then that'll play the Dutch. Then play Norway in the last game, and Montenegro or Turkey will be your ones for the second place. So that's turning out to be a really interesting group as well. England, as I say, no problem, through they go. Shocker against Hungary though. I mean, let's be honest, let's not kid ourselves on. And every Scots fan wants Gareth Southgate to keep that job forever, because every time he plays the 7 and 8 defenders, it's great to watch. So we'll see how they go. Should be Albania, but it'll probably be a struggle, 1-0, 2-0. And Poland should end up second in the group, let's be honest, and see what happens. But Albania needs something for the game tonight. Germany through already. North Macedonia should be Iceland. 2-2 in the previous game, so that'll be a hard game because they didn't want to slip up and give Romania a chance in the last game. So North Macedonia will really want to take something out of this game, and that's going to be a cracking World Cup tie there. And it's just going to see how because Romania will beat Liechtenstein. That'll be quite straightforward and quite easy. So some cracking games coming up, and we'll see some of the stars, and probably Newcastle and teams like that will be looking for some of these players that are hitting form, young players coming through, the new stars that are going to be forming in this World Cup. Because one thing the World Cup year always does, it always brings that great player at a great performance in the World Cup, and he signs for the bigger club and he's unknown before, and this is the excitement of the World Cup, and it really does bring great players to the cream rises to the tops, so to say. And in the past, Spain and all that have always grabbed their players and taken them forward. But I think this time the Premier League, especially with players like managers like Gerrard and Howe and Lampard, they're going to be looking to sign some of these lesser known players that have got good quality, and it'll be interesting to see how they all go. I still think Jesse Lingard's a certainty to go to Newcastle in the transfer window, and there'll be a few in there. Tielemans I thought would have went for Leicester, but maybe it'll just be too early for him and they'll have to wait till the summertime, but we'll see what happens. And of course Scottish football's just taken a great twist, because Ange Postecoglou will do very well now, because Rangers are going to be in a bit of turmoil because they're losing their whole backroom staff as well, I think, and they're only 4 points behind, and Rangers, there's a game coming up soon, up at New Year, and that'll be an interesting one. You would think Celtic should get the upper hand in that one, so it's going to be interesting to see who Rangers bring in, because they've got to be ambitious, they've got to keep that ball rolling. They can't just look at an ex-player or something like that. They've got to look at a decent manager, and that was a great idea what they've done with Steven Gerrard, and it worked for them because they stopped the Celtic 10 in a row. It's scary that it's going to be Celtic and Rangers again. Hearts got another good result, slaughtered Dundee United last week 5-2, and Hibs have dropped out a wee bit. Dundee United have come into it. Aberdeen, mediocre this season. So it's going to be interesting to see if Hearts can put some sort of challenge in there, maybe for the Scottish Cup. We'll see what happens. And we've got the League Cup semi-finals coming up as well. So that'll be interesting. But as I say, Ange should get Celtic back in contention here. And it's going to be a good struggle between the two of them till the end of the season. And that's going to go right to the wire, I would imagine. So it's going to be interesting in the Premier League. And some good results, hopefully, at Hearts and Hibs and Dundee United and Aberdeen can take off the Old Firm. So we'll see what happens there. But always remember, it's your money, it's my money, it's everybody's money. Have respect for everybody in Betfair, for the winners and the losers, and I'll speak to you next week.